But
Yeah, I don't think I would enjoy prescribing a workout that I hadn't done. Like I love writing in the notes saying, dude, this sucks. I just did this 2 weeks ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've done that before, and it's the weirdest feeling. 'Cause I'm like, I wonder, should they have been able to complete this? Like, I just like found somebody was talking about one in some like article or something. Like, oh, I'm gonna give somebody that, and they were like, that was horrible. And I was like, I told them, I was like, sorry, man, I have never done that before.
It was,
I thought it was some pyramid. I was like, I wonder if this is doable. Here, you do it. It's like I went out to try it one day, and I was like, that was not cool. But
I got a random question. This just sparked that, or that just sparked. Do you guys set FTPs based on like test or the PD curve or normalized power? I, I'm tending to always put as whatever WKO5 assigns in like the 30-day window, even if it's a short TTE. But like, have you found how that affects certain riders or others? Like,
short TTE. That is actually, I've been coming back. I've been trying to find a thread. It's interesting. I always used to use the histogram, which definitely overestimates people because it shows anaerobic power. But they talk about it in training race with the power meter. Here, this is where it falls off. This is how you can find FTP. It tends to be a little bit high. Um, and if you think about, you really always have your FTP with a 30-minute TTE, and then there's the FTP with like an hour TTE. I find, and it's more applicable, I think, to people. Most people aren't doing hour efforts in an event. Like, I understand the physiological aspect of why you'd want to do that, but if you have somebody doing intensive aerobic stuff and they can bang out harder watts at this 12-minute interval they're doing, I would rather have them do that. And even looking at intensive aerobic, especially after talking to Grant Coons when he was like, American racing is, what did he say? I don't want to misquote him. He's like, it's 5 to 12 minutes, or it's 8 to 10 minute efforts, or something like in that, sub 15 for sure. And dude, I look back to when I was in upstate New York, I did a ton of 4x10s in the winter and came out crushing. And that's like 10 minutes in a race is long to be just going full out.
yeah.
So to answer your question, if they have an FTP and it has a long TTE, I'll just add a few watts, or I'll like look and see what would it be at 30 minutes. That's been kind of good. I'd be curious if you check that on some people, what you think, but
Mhm.
um,
Yeah, no, I think I kind of think that's the way to go.
it's super in the ballpark. I mean, it's using the algorithm, and then it's like using the art of it, of coaching and it's, I want to see people crushing 20 and 30-minute efforts. If you can crush a 40, 50, 60, 80, great. But I don't know if I want to make all your zones based off that. And especially because I'm really into like people doing super threshold stuff. If we're doing threshold and you can do 100, awesome. Next time, do 103%, do 105. That little like envelope pushing is what makes people better every single time. I can only do one. That's fine. Dude, I've actually referenced you, Patrick, of trying to do the workouts in the back of the training and racing with the power meter. And when this shuts off, I'll send another link. Or you got to go, Craig, don't you?
I got 15 minutes probably.
Okay. When this shuts off, I'll send another link to WhatsApp um, of how you tried to do one and you got through like half. And we were like, these are impossible. And then you're like, oh, I'm gonna keep trying this. And you did it and you got through like 60%. And finally, you like did one of these kitchen sink workouts. That mindset I think of towards some of these, like somebody who struggles with 4x10 at 99%. It's like, okay, go do the first one. Can you do one at 102%? Because if you can't, then our numbers are off. You should be able to do 10 minutes. They get that win. They get that little W. And they're like, then I'm like, okay, this is mental. This is not even physical. They're just like mind blocked. And then have them do the second one. Okay, go do one at 102, really try and do 100% for the second one. And then keep increasing until they're doing 4 of them at 105%. And as long as they know, dude, this is a process. This isn't overnight. It's interesting.
There's ownership there too of the training,
Totally.
which is really important.
Yeah.
Patrick, what's your definition of a short TTE? Is it like 30 minutes and then long would be
I think
60?
it can't go lower than 30.
Okay.
Yeah, like 30,
35. Yeah.
higher FRC riders or like more all-arounders tend to have like shorter TTE. And like guys with no anaerobic capacity have longer. Sometimes, I mean, it depends on how the dial getting turned, I'd say.